You're listening to Force Majeure, an actual play podcast that is usually Star Wars, but today we're doing something a little bit different, and our adventure will be brought to you after this vitally important briefing from Terran Command. Attention, Fire Team. This is a priority briefing and your mecha are already being prepped and supplied for immediate deployment. Following your successes against the Primacy Supply Depot on Balamar 6, they have retaliated against one of our own supply trains right here on Calorus. As you may know, hypertrains run from the primary spaceport here throughout our habdomes on the planet. 2 minutes ago, the HLR Tarak activated a distress beacon. Primacy soldiers have overtaken the train and killed our forces based there. They have deactivated remote control on the train, filled with both essential civilian supplies and over 80 gigaton of munitions, is now accelerating towards Epoch Station. We estimate that you will have 10 minutes from the point we drop you on the train to activate the brakes and stop it before it impacts Epoch Station and turns it into another crater. We are trying to evacuate the station, but we cannot guarantee it will be empty of civilians in time. It is likely you'll need to disembark from your mecha once the external primacy threats have been eliminated, so your exosuits are being loaded onto your mecha once you've secured entry into a cargo pod. Get yourself to Hangar Bay 7 right now, Fire Team. We cannot sit around on this one. Over and out. Yeah, it's a reverse train heist. Woo!
Yeah!
Hello, everybody. My name is Adam, and I am your host and GM for Mission Emerald Consequence. I am joined around the table by some wonderful guests. I say guest players. This is the third mission now you've done, so you're like kind of less guests and more my side hustle. So, So I would be grateful if you could introduce yourselves to our listeners and tell them who you're playing as we get going.
I am AC. I'm playing Nox and Arrowlight Void, and she is a child soldier, now a young woman soldier, and she's ready to stop this train.
Hi, I'm Riley, he, him. I'm playing Lucas, also he, him. Lucas is a teenager. Nerdy teen. His mech is Razor, a gigantic kaiju mech that looks like a werewolf.
Yeah, I'm Chris, and I'm playing Ruhk, and he's piloting Iron Decimus. He's basically a grizzled vet. Used to be part of the
Neo-Dominion.
Yeah, that's right. Neo-Dominion. And we're ready to stop this train from becoming a giant bomb hitting, a civilian target.
Hi, I'm Sammy. Her pronouns are she, they, and I'm playing Faye, whose pronouns are they, them. And Faye is a former Primacy pilot, so it's more machine than meat. And pilots Barricade, which is a fun mech. For a name like Barricade, they move around a lot more than you'd expect.
Not well.
As long as you're not rolling a reactor die, you're fine.
Yes, but
Yeah, exactly.
They roll reactor dice all the time.
I have built my mech specifically to roll my reactor die as much as possible for the lulz.
We open above the surface of Calorus, the Terran homeworld, an Earth-like planet covered in large sealed habdomes where the Terran Dominion have made their stronghold. The planet's surface is crisscrossed by a spider web of tunnels and train networks, bringing in essential supplies to the civilian domes from the various spaceports scattered around Calorus, and bringing munitions in and out from the manufactorums and factories to supply for the war effort and defence efforts of the Terran Dominion. We zoom in through the atmosphere towards one of these trains, the HLR Tarak, screaming at higher speeds than the safety tolerances would normally allow, heading towards the city of Epoch. We can see fairly close. It is about to descend beneath the surface of the planet into one of the tunnels that will take it underneath a vast body of water and down into Epoch Station itself. A dropship cuts through the clouds and screams into view, catching up as best it can with the train as it drops down from atmosphere. The sentry guns mounted on the side of the train, normally designed for self-defense but since co-opted, by the Aeonic Primacy insurgents, track onto the dropship and start firing up a wave after wave of anti-aircraft rounds. Luckily, the dropship, expertly piloted by Valkyrie, manages to dodge the worst of this, but does take a few hits along the wings and fuselage. The cargo bay doors open, and you can see beneath you the train itself, bringing those guns back up to bear. Perched along the carriages at the back of the train as well are two advanced Aeonic Primacy combat mechs of a similar style to that which Faye used to pilot themselves back in the days before they came over. These are more advanced than the drones you had fought previously. They are indeed piloted by sentients themselves, brains in jars, converted cyborgs. The nature of the pilots, as we've seen with Faye, varies from mech to mech, but you will not be facing off against mindless AIs. These are elite Primacy suicide aces, and they will defend this train from your attempts to seize it back.
Aw, darn, I guess that means I can't hack them.
Oh, you can hack them. You just need to use your axe to ask them a question.
The go light starts flaring as yet more rounds start punching into the dropship, and smoke begins to rise from one of its engines. You strap on to the back of your mechs boosters, which will allow you to maintain a level of speed to catch up with the train, which is otherwise moving far faster than even Barricade can, blowing out its reactor.
Oh, wow.
However, the charges in these jump packs will only last for a certain length of time, and that tunnel is getting awfully close. If you are not deployed inside a train carriage by the time that train goes into the tunnels, it is going to get much, much snugger than I think you will enjoy. The lights flare, the sirens blare, and one by one our mecha jump out from the dropship and activate their jump jets as the dropship pulls away, frantically trying to find somewhere to land before it explodes into a fireball. Should we reintroduce what our mechs look like as you're plummeting at high speed towards this train amidst anti-aircraft fire and the plasma fire of the two Primacy aces who are drawing beads upon you?
So, Airlight Void drops down as usual to try to take the brunt of this because it's a massive construction-looking vehicle, bright yellow and black stripes, and coupled together from earth movers and cranes primarily. Two massive cranes crisscross its back that it uses for grappling, and its giant earth mover's feet cause its quake module to activate. As she plummets, Nox screams into her headset, "I'm gonna try to pull him off as we go down." And she tucks and rolls and kicks on her boosters to get closer.
So Ruhk's mech is basically a Terran mockery emulation hybridization of the Neo Dominion style, which is think of armored knights with shield, and it's green and gold, and basically it's just pretty much the easiest way to think of it is a Gundam with a shield in that sense. Very just armored knight looking type armor. Finally, he's not in that exoskeleton suit, but he'll be in that later. So yeah, he jumps out. Roger that. We're gonna take him down, and let's take him down fast. And basically kicks on his boosters, and he's really surprised that he actually is able to go darn near as fast as Faye. So it's kind of nice to be zipping along on this bullet train that we're trying to get to.
Barricade is a vaguely rhino beetle shaped, if a rhino beetle was bipedal. Most of the mech is the silver white alloy known throughout the Primacy, except for the arms, which are blocky brown and gray and are very clearly of Terran design. When your mech is broke and you're making repairs in former enemy territory, you gotta make do with what you got.
Razor is, as previously described, a big, absolutely massive werewolf. Looks like a bipedal wolf. I looked in the Discord chat, and apparently gray skin, crimson fur, covered in wiring and struts of metal to kind of hold it together, and also hold the tiny little console pilot seat on its chest that Lucas sits in.
I do have a question about Razor.
Yes.
So the rest of your mechs have your exosuits in. So you kind of are in your pilot suits, then in your exosuits, then in your mecha. Like a matryoshka of cybernetic butt kicking. But of course,
Oh no, the papoose.
Lucas's exosuit is not so much an exosuit as a much smaller Razor. So is Lucas in the battle papoose on Razor Jr. who is perched on the back of Razor?
I guess that would probably make sense. Razor has a baby enormous. I mean,
Razor have a papoose at the front with Razor Jr. in, and you're in the papoose on Razor Jr. It just papooses all the way down.
I mean, normally I picture it being like RJ is stored in like a marsupial pouch.
Oh, that works, yeah.
But like, would Lucas be in the marsupial pouch with RJ? I don't know.
I mean, probably, unless you scramble out of your pilot.
Yeah,
seat.
no, I guess that would make
Razor.
sense. So
just passes you down.
we're in the marsupial pouch with together.
Cozy.
Very cozy.
Just peeking over the pouch so you can see to steer.
Reaching the hands up.
Well, no, because Razor does his own steering.
He does, that's true, yeah.
Razor does most of the fighting. Lucas is just there for hacking
And moral support.
and moral support. Yes, but
So now that that's all the official canon,
Razor is self-sufficient. It can fight by itself. It does not need Lucas to be here.
Yeah, you're really moral support for the rest of the fire team to ensure them that Razor has their best interests at heart more than anything else.
Yeah, no, that's the important part, because if Razor's pilot is not there, bad things happen.
Oh, dear.
Razor goes on a rampage.
And as we're plummeting down towards the train at high speeds, can I please start off with initiatives? So this is, as a reminder, it is a mobility or systems test. Choose whichever of the two you want and roll underneath it.
Why do we go into free fall so often?
It's fun and fast.
The fastest way to get to the fight.
Because we kind of need it. You can't just walk somewhere.
It's a good thing I'm not afraid of heights.
We have to roll under it, right?
Yep, roll under.
Yeah, that didn't work. That
Oh,
was
no.
not good. I rolled a 20.
Oh no!
it's just
Ooh.
initiative. You're fine.
You are not.
No, I am not fine. This happened last time, you remember? I got targeted and like blasted the crap out of the last time we were in freefall.
That's right.
Brace yourself for a repeat then, because that's about what's about to happen this time round.
Bring it on!
So I'll come to you in a moment.
I rolled under.
You rolled under.
Every single time.
Nox
2 on a 12 of system.
and Faye.
This is the first time I've been excited to roll a natural one.
Yay!
So, initiatives are going to be Lucas, Nox and Faye, then the enemies, which, to be clear, in range there are 2 sentry turrets mounted onto the train itself which are targeting you, and there are 2 primacy aces in their combat mecha which were gripping onto the side of the train but have now leaped up and engaged their own boosters to try to close the distance and catch up with you and intercept you. And then after all they have gone, Ruhk gets to go.
I'm getting too old for this.
I was about to say, we moving too quick for you, old man.
If you roll a natural 1 on any of your skill tests, it is a critical success, so not only do you do the good thing and double damage in combat, you also get to have a little extra bonus, so we will come on to Faye in a moment to find out what her little extra bonus is. If you roll a natural 20, it is a critical failure. If you're being attacked in combat, you take double damage and something bad happens. If it's for a skill test, then you fail and something bad happens. And what that something bad here is, I'm afraid that as Iron Decimus is dropping down, the anti-aircraft guns, which were zeroed in on your dropship, they track you and manage to punch a few depleted uranium rounds through your chassis.
Ouch.
Oh, that's not good at all.
That is 6 points of damage as these armor-piercing anti-aircraft rounds punch through your chassis.
Oh, well, there goes all my armor.
Sparks and wires hole through your shield.
Boom, boom. Yeah, that ate up all my armor. Yeah, that's fun. You said 6 points of damage?
Yep.
Awesome. Great. And 1 hit point. Yay. Ah! Slag!
Faye, what would you like for your extra little bonus? At the moment, you are matching speeds with the train. Slightly, you can then push yourself effectively to move closer as a move action. You are coming into this at far, so it is 3 range bands to get onto the train carriage itself, which you need to tear open and kind of eject your exosuits out into before the train goes into the tunnel.
This is delightful. I'm going to bring up my reactor on the first 3 minutes again. Because I rolled a crit on my initiative test, would you accept having advantage on the reactor dice I'm about to roll?
I would say you don't need to roll your reactor dice at all.
Ooh.
You're using the momentum effectively is rather than your reactor as such. It's the extra momentum as you dive out and burn your booster jets. So I'll say you don't need to roll your reactor die at all.
Excellent. We'll see how long that lasts, because I have to roll my reactor dice like 3 times for what I'm about to do. So first things first, booster sprint. Move twice with a single move action. Roll your reactor die. So 2 range bands closer. And I don't roll my reactor die.
Yeah, you don't need to roll the reactor die for that.
Yeah.
That gets you into close. So not quite melee. You're just outside of melee range, just outside of the train carriage. You're very close to it then.
Where is the near range band compared to close?
Abstractly, the difference between being able to punch a mech and being able to shoot a mech, it is abstraction. You're not quite in punching range. You're just outside of it.
Gotcha. So my other chassis ability is Charging Strike. As a move action, immediately move to a near enemy and make a melee attack against them.
Yep.
Am I close enough to do that? Excellent.
Yes, you are. Yeah. What are you going for? So there's the 2 turrets and there's the 2 primacy aces.
The turrets are doing the most damage to my newfound friends. I say newfound, but I've been at the Terrans for a while, so the turrets are doing the most damage to my dear friends. So I'm going to try to take those out first.
Yep.
So how long does the don't have to roll your reactor dice count? Because this is
for a critical success. Yeah, for a critical success, I will say it applies for your whole first turn, but this is your second action,
Ooh.
so this will be the last action of your turn unless you got something you can do for free.
Well, so Charging Strike, it's a move action, so it would be my second move action. So normally would need to roll reactor dice for that, and also need to roll reactor dice for the action itself. So.
Yeah. No, I'd say that you've got sufficient momentum as you're basically overdriving your jump jets. Effectively, you're burning out the extra fuel in your jump jets rather than your own reactor for this first turn.
Yeah, I'll burn out the jump jets reactor. That's fine. I'll get rid of that in a minute. It could be on fire in space. Oh, that's bad. Well, so that's a 19 on the attacks. So whatever I tried to hit, I was moving too fast and missed it.
Yeah, you just overcooked it. The upside is, it's not a natural 20, which means it doesn't get to shoot you as you fly into the barrel of the gun. You just miss. And I think, okay, so it feels to me that, yeah, you have just overcooked this a little bit. So what does that look like then, as we put everything together?
So as Faye is wont to do, they just cook their reactor and the jump jet's reactor and just rocket toward the train well ahead of everyone else, and just kind of hits the train and skids between the turrets and whips their axe around and is just going a little bit too fast and just whiffs the axe. So they're kind of scrambling to get back into range. You know, I'll never say I go too fast, but I might have gone a little bit too fast here.
That looked really cool, Faye.
What? I missed it.
Same. I hit the train at least. That was the good point.
Yeah, you're certainly on the train at the moment, kind of have landed on the train, you've matched speeds, and yeah, you're being carried away. Lucas or Nox, who wants to go next?
So, as stated, Nox is planning on trying to drag one of these aces off of the back of the train, and furthermore, Nox would like to drag them along the ground behind the train while still moving very fast. So, you said I'm fast enough to catch up to the train?
You're kind of matching speeds, so
Okay.
you will still need to use move actions to cover the distance to get to the train.
Perfect. So Nox has been taking not necessarily lessons, but paying attention to what Barricade does, and during the last upgrade of their mechs, she got jump jets equipped.
That'll do it.
Yep, I can take a single move action to go far, basically, and go far in one move action with a reactor die. So I'd like to get close enough with just the booster that I have. I want to use my grapple to grab one of them, and then I want to jump into the air and drop the enemy. Like kind of seismic toss it if possible.
Yeah. It would take too many actions to be able to do that in one round.
Okay.
So you could jump jet to them and then grappling strike them as your second action and attempt to throw them down into the ground and bounce them off the floor at high speeds that way, or to get to them and throw them up. Yeah, I suppose that would how you'd have to. You won't be able to grab them, then jump up with them into space and then power bomb them, but you might be able to get there and then drag them in, or get there and we will flavour the damage that you do to them if your grapple strike hits how you want that to look. But that would be your two actions: your jump jets to get to them, and then you grapple attack to.
Okay, so since I can't power bomb them, change of plans. I'm going to jump jet to them, land between them, and if I can do that, then I'll say what I'm going to do. So,
yeah, that would be your jump jets will get you kind of in between them, either in the air or on the train, depending on how you want to flavour that.
Perfect. So using jump jets, I roll reactor die on a use. Nice 6 on that reactor die.
So yeah, you're fine.
All right. Since I rolled max on reactor die, when I land, the discharge allows me to do damage to them as well.
Oh yes.
I have kinetic reactor, so I'm going to roll the d6 again. And I do 5 damage. All right, and then, so I'm saying all the stats, and then I'll say how it looks in the scene. And then I'm going to use my quake generator to try to knock them off of the back of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Attack action, test presence. So testing presence, I have 15 in presence. And I roll a 7, nice and safe. So then I do 1d6 damage to enemies in range. I roll a lot of dice. 4 damage that time, so each of them take 9 damage and get pushed away from me 1 range band. Okay, so now for the fun part. So Aerolite Void topples out of the dropship not very gracefully because it's a big rock of metal. And thanks to the jump jets on her back, she kicks him forward, jets in between these two, lands. These new jets that she's not used to bust off of the body because she's not going to need them anymore, hit them for extra damage on the sides, and then her feet start shaking on the back of this train and pushes them range band away from her and does a bunch of damage. And these guys look probably pretty rough, taking 9 damage total after everything's said and done. And she
not as rough as you want them to.
Oh no. So at this point she's really inarticulate and she's just kind of screaming madly because she's having a good time right now.
But yeah, you do blow them off the side of the train, and then they have to trigger their own jets to try and not smash off the ground and to kind of keep some altitude and gather their own speed back. Well, yeah, they've been pushed away from the train and are reeling a little bit from the force of your impact as you've hit them. Where you've landed on the train, the roof of the train has buckled in and down, especially from your quake generator kind of pulsing out from there. You're tearing open the roof of this train compartment, and looking in through the holes that you've opened in it, you can see that this appears to be one of the cargo cars. It's filled with steel and wooden crates and boxes in racking and like netting to hold them all in.
That hole will buff out.
No, we need to bust it so we can get in.
Step 1 done. Let's go.
Doing good.
It is clear, now that the two of you are on there, Faye and Nox, it is clear that though this train is quite a big train, being able to look inside the carriage now, you could possibly squeeze your mecha into the carriage, but you'd be going through the rest of the train on all fours. It is a very tight fit for your mecha.
I'm going to say I can't fit at all because I'm too big as a colossus.
You'd just be lying down and like taking up the entire train carriage. Your exosuits will fit, it'll be a little snug, because they are bigger than human-sized, but will be able to fit and move around the carriage without too much difficulty. But yeah, your mechs would really struggle in here, and yeah, Arrowlight Void is so big.
Lucas, get inside there and hack them down.
I gotta catch up first. Lucas does not have any speed boosting moves, so all Razor can do is dash. So move and then move again.
Or you could move and shoot and just hope you can catch up before it goes into the tunnel.
Yeah, I think we're gonna move and move again.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm gonna roll a reactor die because I'm doing the same action twice.
Yep.
That is a 2. So
Your
I'm
reactor die
pretty sure
downgrades.
I got a downgrade.
Yeah, as Razor is pushing itself to try and catch up.
For once, it wasn't me.
Razor's just doing like when people are doing like skydives and they just like or
Yes.
not skydives, diving into water and they just like make themselves streamlined. Razor's just doing that.
It is the enemy's turn, and we are going to start off with the anti-aircraft guns. I think that Barricade and Arrowlight Void are too close. The sentry guns cannot pivot round and depress their arc low enough to be able to take you two out. So that is lucky. One, however, is going to level its guns at Razor. The other is going to level its guns at Iron Decimus. Can each of you please make me a mobility test to try to get out of the way?
Sure.
Flee!
I rolled a 2.
Oh, look, I didn't get out of the way. That was a 17 out of a 12.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Well, Razor manages to pirouette and dodge. Unfortunately, Iron Decimus takes another round of...
I'll use my reflective shielding this time.
You're having a bad
Yes.
day, Ruhk.
I'm still going to take the hit, but, I just want to hit something, so...
That is 4 more points of damage as these high caliber rounds start punching through the chassis of your mecha.
Fine, you did say we were supposed to just destroy these things. Take all the damage we can while we're, switching out. Ow! Yeah, so he gets hit, then he levels his shield, and then, opens fire with this SMG on that one, so I have to roll a 1d6 for damage. That's a 3, and then I'll roll the reactor die. Which is a 4, so I'm good.
Yeah, as your SMG built into your shield, well, what's left of your shield,
What's
managed to
left of it?
fire off a volley in riposte that punches holes through that turret. Sparks start to fly from that turret, smoke starts to stream from it. It is not destroyed yet, but it is clearly taken a significant hit. They're not designed to get... They are not quite glass cannons, but they're not designed to take much in the way of return fire.
Makes sense.
The two aces, one recognises the heritage of primacy design in the majority of Barricade chassis and tilts its head quizzically and tries to broadcast an identification request from you. And then it takes in the company you're keeping, the modifications that has been made to your chassis, Barricade.
Traitor!
They betrayed me first.
Levels its beam rifle. So because these are aces, they get to make 2 attacks. So first of all, it levels its beam rifle and unleashes a volley of energy at you. Can you please make me a mobility test to dodge?
Apparently not. Unless I get a boost for combat or athletics.
No, not at the moment, only when you're on foot, I'm afraid.
Nope, that's a fail then.
That is 6 points of damage as these energy rounds lance into your chassis as they attempt to purge from you the Terran blasphemies that have been bolted on. And then, in the wake of those energy beams, it does what you have shown the primacy to do, in that it starts burning its own reactor to charge in and hit you with its sword. Can you please make me a second mobility test as it tries to cleave these Terran limbs from the purity of your primacy chassis?
That one's a success.
Yay.
So yeah, the plasma rounds kind of knock you just out of line, but it has closed the distance and is now in combat with you, trying to... It is match speed, is hovering, and is trying to carve these limbs off you. The other one gathers itself up from where it's kind of bounced almost off the floor and been knocked away by the quake generator of Arrowlight Void, and does similar. First of all, opening with a volley of fire from its plasma rifle. Can you please make me a mobility test for that one?
Ooh, the one thing I'm not good at. That's a fail. It's a 12 on a 9.
That is 4 points of damage to you as it unloads a volley of plasma fire as it's closing the distance.
That all you got?
And a second mobility test as the pilot kind of says, more in interpretive dance than words, "No, I have this as well," and tries to hit you with its lightsaber.
Well, it's not enough.
That time I rolled a 6 on a 9.
Yeah.
Yes, that is not enough. It's just like,
You got more, but I don't want it.
as you're just about managing to get out of the way. It's sore because it's now rejoined you on the roof of the train, effectively, and its blade is carving more chunks out of the roof as it's swinging in at you, and you're just about managing to get out of the way. Ruhk. What's left of Ruhk? It is your turn.
Don't worry, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Where am I in relation to all this mess going on at this
You're
point?
still
In the air.
in the air, like 3 range bands away, frantically trying to catch up. You just shot full of holes on the way down.
Well, that's a move on my side. There's no. Yeah, I have to get close. I can't do this. I have to get close. So you'll kick on the jump jets and try to get going and get there faster. So that's the modified ones they've given us. So that'll be a move and then a move, and that's his turn. Just got to get out of the air, man. Get on that train.
Yeah, can you make me a reacted eye test for your double move, please?
Sure. So far, so good. That's a 3. I'm good.
You're fine.
Don't die till I get there.
So Razor and Iron Decimus are 1 move band away from being on the train. You're within shooting distance of it still. You're not quite within landing on the train distance. Barricade and Iron Decimus are on the train or close enough to land on the train. You are within train landing distance. Obviously, Barricade's kind of a bit up in the air and overcooked a bit further down, but you are on the train carriage itself or close enough not to worry about it. We go back to the top of initiative, so that's anyone but Ruhk.
Can I get in close? Catch up with everyone?
Yep. Yeah, 1 move action to catch onto the train.
Yeah. So RJ finally lands after being behind, and I think is gonna land like the enemy is here and Nox is there, and Razor lands behind the enemy that is facing Nox and is going to attempt to do a chop. Because, axe. Well, he's gonna hack. Or it's gonna hack. In its own little way.
That's a power test, please.
Yes. Oh no. That's a 13. Plus 2 is 15, which is definitely over my power, which is 13.
Yeah, I think that you land, you bring your axe down with all that momentum behind you, and
Just goes directly into the roof of the train.
yeah, the ace that is fighting AC almost sees it coming. They have lots of cameras kind of all the way round, so they might not have 360-degree vision, but they clearly have an enhanced field of vision, and they slide out of the way as your axe just buries and carves a great chunk out of the roof of this train carriage.
Well, we have a way in now.
Good job, kid. Let me handle these then.
I'm just going to take 2 attack actions since I am already engaged with one of them. A 3,
That'll do it.
and then... Ooh, a critical 1. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll maybe control reactors again, but I don't. So, how do crits work again?
Double damage, and you get an additional bonus thing.
So, the first hit does 3, and then the second one does 4, and that's double damage. So, 7 damage on this guy. Nox takes advantage of the enemy turning to get away from Lucas's attack, and a quick slash from behind deals 7 damage.
It is still up and in the fight, but it is showing that damage now. Some of its redundant systems have had to be its backup systems have clearly had to be kicked in. It is moving slightly slower. Armor plates have been shed.
And a 5 on my reactor die, sorry, for doing the same action twice. So
Yeah, so just go down. What would you like for your critical success? What do you like for your cherry?
they have to... The one that I hit... They need some kind of detriment to their next attack.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you've hit them so hard that you've dropped their legs into the train carriage. so that the next attack, so that you're at advantage to get out of the way when it tries to attack you.
Ooh, better idea. I slice off one of the arms so they only get one attack.
Yeah, I'll allow that. That's fine. I'm quite happy with that. That's cool. So yeah, you take out one of its... Yeah, because it's been holding its sword in a two-handed grip. And yeah, you take one of its arms out, the arm with the blaster rifle mounted onto it, so it is down to just its single-handed lightsaber sword. Sparks fly as the limb kind of bounces, hits the ground, then is gone in the blink of an eye. That's how fast this train is moving. Smoke starts to rise from the wound.
I do the come hither gesture with one of my hands. Bring it on.
So one of them is right next to me,
Yes.
if I recall. I'm going to show him what it means to be an ace.
You're going to burn out your reactor and miss.
Hey, it's a legitimate strategy. But that does hit, so that will be... Ooh, that's a 8 damage to them.
Solid.
They did not enjoy that. They are still up and fighting, but again, you can tell that you've compromised their structural integrity. Like, these are your peers. You can tell when they're having to reroute some of their essential control systems through the backups. That has been a lot of damage done in. Plates have been torn out. Fuel starting to leak.
Yeah, and now I'm going to use my Nano Shroud, which gets me 1d4 armor points. Ooh, 2. Now, unfortunately, this also means I have to roll my reactor dice for that to work.
Hooray.
Ooh,
got it.
it's a 4.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's my first successful reactor roll.
Well done. I mean, you can't go much lower than a D4 anyways, so you're good.
Yeah, well, my reactor dice is a D6. It just, it's been a D4
for a while. That's fair.
Yeah, it's been a D4 for every episode because I burned it out in the first 3 minutes.
It is the enemy's turns. So the turrets can now only target Ruhk. Because you have not yet managed to close the distance.
Okay.
Can you please make me two
right.
more mobility tests?
All right, here we go. Mobility is 12. Let's see how this goes. First one is a 14, so hit. And second one is an 8, so I actually dodge one. After probably because I got knocked off the trajectory from the first shot. So
Okay.
damage, my friend.
That is 7 points of damage.
Well, it made up for it. Jeez. Yeah, I'm still gonna open fire on it because I'm very vindictive at the moment with what's left of my
Legitimate. That's legitimate.
It's a D6 on that one. 1 point of damage. And rolling the reactor die. That was a 1 on my reactor die. Hey, look, I go down.
Oh, yeah, it's the only time you go down. Oh, dear.
That's where I'm just like dropping down. I'm almost there. Boink. You just hear the uranium shell just nail him and you just fly him back again.
Ah!
Ah!
The turret that you return fire on is still up, but is really seriously damaged by this point. It is really very seriously damaged. It is the enemy ace's turn, and I'm going to start with the one that is currently facing off against Barricade, who, realising that they are locked into a fight to the death, but they're not worried at the moment. They're feeling pretty confident. There's been they're still functioning. They still got their colleague who is doing pretty well as these things go. The turrets are still firing. One of your fire team is being shot out of the sky. But they are aware that the odds are somewhat against them. So, with their offhand, they've still got their sword drawn and faced up because they are locked into melee with you. They drop their rifle, which again just kind of goes bouncing off down the side of the train and then is lost. Their palm opens up and they deploy a chain of flashbangs. Can everybody except Ruhk please make a systems test?
The one saving grace for getting blasted around like a ping pong ball.
Success.
It's a success.
Given my system is 17, you'd think I'd have high chance to succeed. I rolled a 17.
Oh, dear. Right. It kind of makes sense, actually, that Razor's the one that fails this, because you are at disadvantage to both of your actions for your next turn. You're at disadvantage to it's just your next test, actually, so it'll be your dodge test. in a second when the ace tries to smite. Because I think the sound and the lights just overwhelm Razor as these flashbangs go off and the rest of you manage to get your visors down in time and your noise gates kick in, and Ruhk is too busy being shot by anti-aircraft rounds to worry about it. But it's just a sensory overload for Razor. It's just too much for it. The ace then takes its second attack to swipe at you, Faye, with its plasma sword. Can you please make me a mobility test?
Nope.
That is 5 points of damage as its lightsaber slices across your chassis.
Lightsaber? I thought this wasn't Star Wars.
Yeah, it is a plasma sword. You know, let's...
It's a legally distinct light sword.
Yeah, legally distinct. Yes. It is a glimmer falchion as it slices across your chassis, curling your armour back and burning chunks out. Now it's you, Nox, as the one facing you, the one-armed ace, rebalances itself, having sidestepped away from Razor's attack. Clearly is pensive that it is now surrounded, and takes a sidestep to try and get out of being quite so bracketed in between the pair of you. But there's enough damage been done to the roof of the train that there's nowhere really for it to move away from, outside of jumping in the air and hoping to carry on with momentum, which it doesn't look like it wants to do at the moment. So it shuffles around a bit awkwardly, realises that it can't get away, and then goes to attempt to just stab you straight with a single cleaving thrust. Can you please make me a mobility test to get out of the way?
Absolute. I failed. 12 out of 9.
That is 7 points of damage as it does do a perfect lunge and thrust and just burns a hole through the right side of your torso, just missing where your exosuit stroke pilot section is. It kind of cuts in just to the side of you and then pulls back out again.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
Ruhk,
Yes.
it is your turn.
Can I move to get on the train so I
Yeah.
stop getting shot like a skeet shooting pigeon? Jeez.
Yeah, one action will get you on the train and in between the two turrets. None of you are now targetable by the turrets. Well done.
Yay! Awesome. Wonderful. And we still have both enemies, yes?
Both aces are up. Both badly hurt, but they're both still up.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So he lands and like stumbles and catches himself, and then just little missiles pop up. Missile barrage. That is 4d4 damage. We'll start with that. So that's 8 damage total to that barrage.
If you put all of them into the ace that is currently fighting Barricade,
Yes.
that will take that one ace out. Or you can split it and they'll both be very badly injured but still in the fight, and hope that the fact that the rest of your fire team get a go before these two aces do is enough to take them out. It's up to you how you want to do
It's
it.
going to be, I'm going to split it evenly, 4-4.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to roll my reactor die. And that is a 6 on a 6. Woo! I'm good.
So yes, you land, your missiles lance out as you kind of, because we know they come from your back, can they kind of pop out from your back and shoulders?
Yep.
And I imagine that you've kind of landed on the train, almost on
Just
all
kind of like
fours. Yeah.
Yeah!
And then as
just
you kind
open
of,
fire.
yeah, just as they arc round and slam into these aces. Again, blowing huge chunks out of them. They're really badly hurt, these aces. And in a normal fight, they might be considering that maybe this is where we should get out of dodge.
But they're suicide programming.
They are, and there is, again, Faye, you know that although the cyborg pilots like yourself have a lot more free will and tactical freedom, there are still behavioural inhibitors, because that's why you got left behind originally yourself when you were like, we need to pull our fire team out of here, and they went, no you don't, you're staying here and dying. And you went, okay. It is clear, you can tell they're changing their behaviour, that from their body language, that is what's happened with these two pilots. They were clearly weighing up now and going, maybe we should get out. And then you could almost feel the echo of their inhibitor chips kicking in and forcing them to stay in the fight.
One mind override.
Yeah.
This is why we don't like the primacy.
Party to go, except Ruhk, obviously. Still at the end.
They've got this. The kids have got this. It's fine. It's fine. I made my greeting. I'm good.
I'll keep hacking and slashing if y'all don't mind. I'm going to attack the one that's still directly engaged with me. I kind of duck under the missiles as they approach. And 3 on 17 for a first hit.
Ooh.
Let's see how much damage that does. 2 damage. Is it dead?
No, it's not even good to go. It has 3 hit points left.
Well, I'm going to try to attack it again. Let's go. Woo, 16 on 17. Thank goodness. Oh, and 3 damage, but now let's reactor die. And I roll a 1 on the reactor die. First reactor die 1.
So, describe what this looks like as you burn out as you severely degrade your reactor, taking out this one-armed, invulnerable, tenacious ace that has just been trading blow after blow with you.
So first I kind of salute it by, taking my axe and putting it in front of my face for a second. And I just come in with a really big uppercut because I was ducking to get below those missiles. And I catch it under its arm that it still has, but it doesn't quite go through. And I just burn my reactor out to give it that more force to just slice it through from bottom right to upper left. And that's why my reactor die burned out, because I didn't reset to hit with the axe again. So I just forced it through even harder.
Yeah.
And that caused my reactor to go oop.
And the bottom half of the mech drops off the side of the train and just goes, again, just bouncing, disappears. The top half, what's left of it, collapses through the hole in the train roof that's just been increasingly carved. And you see it deactivate and sizzle out, landing and crumpling a couple of boxes of foodstuffs or provisions or something. You can't quite work out what it's crashed, but no, it is not ammo at the moment. But yeah, it is collapsed and deactivated through into the train carriage itself, tearing that hole in the roof open.
There's a mechanical roar that comes from Aerolite Void that's not exactly from Nox.
Not the only one with a ghosted machine then. Who wants to go next?
I wouldn't mind finishing off my
you're
former ally.
You're up against a thing. The enemy right in front of me just died.
Yeah, I mean, look, I feel a little bit bad for them. I know what it's like to have the one mind take over. It sucks. Better put them out of their misery. So just a straight up attack. That is a 4. That's a good dice. I'm gonna set this aside and use it more often. So that's a 7 on the damage die.
Nice.
That'll do it.
That will do it. That is enough to take out this one as well. So what does that look like? And then we'll come on to your final action if we need one.
Yeah, so it kind of swings, just flourishes the axe, and just kind of straight horizontal chop right through the chassis and the cockpit. It was quick.
Yeah, and again, for this one, both parts of it tumble either side of the train, because where you are, the roof of the carriage isn't anywhere near as damaged, and they just bounce either side. We are going to drop out of initiative because there's no more enemy. There are still the turrets which are controlled by the enemy, but at the moment they can't turn round to target you because they're effectively on the side, each side of the train, and you're on the top. So they just have no arc of fire. The tunnel mouth is seconds away at the speed you're going. What does it look like as you eject into the train carriage and then release your mech to presumably to be picked up by a cargo ship?
Mine's just going to slam into the wall.
Yeah, Razor uses its claws and just pierces the roof, tears it open. RJ jumps out of the marsupial pouch, and Razor jumps away with a final farewell.
Aerolite Void activates its grapplers to catch the tunnel and remain suspended, and kind of goes backwards and then forwards and ejects Voidling back onto the train. Really cool looking. And kind of jumps into the hole that was created or finished by Lucas.
Ruhk stands back up, real shaky, all sparking, and pieces shot off of Iron Decimus, and kind of sees the tunnel up ahead. Takes his shield, just ripped into pieces, and just throws it off the side of the train, and then it reaches over, opens up the chassis, and basically lets him out. It gives a salute and leans back and falls off the the train and kicks on its jets or whatever it does, and he drops on in.
With Iron Centimus.
Iron Centimus, yes. As Iron Decimus skitters down along the train, manages to stop itself before it just smashes into the ground of combat.
Yeah.
But just catches itself and slows itself down. Yeah, as Iron Centimus discharges into this torn open. That's a horrible word. Discharges into this train carriage, and then finally Barricade. Given that Barricade's exosuit is basically just Faye with armor plates nailed onto them.
Mm-hmm. In the interest of going fast, Barricade basically leans over the hole that we've made into the train and just kind of ejects Faye and their exosuit directly into the train carriage. And then kind of autopilots itself just up, ready to get picked up.
And I think as your 4 mecha leave the train, depositing you inside the cargo container, the train enters the tunnel. Darkness falls. The running lights of the cargo car that you're in flicker faintly into light, not working properly due to the damage that's been put into this train car to get you in. You can see in the half light that this is indeed full of boxes and crates of what appear to be foodstuffs and engineering parts and similar civilian supplies. Ahead of you is the door that is closed leading into the rest of the train. And yeah, I think as we whip into the darkness, into the tunnels underground and down towards Epoch Station, that is where we are going to end the episode for this week. Whew. Thank you very much. We did it!
It only took...
We survived!
it only took 100 minutes.
And 4 recording attempts. Thank you very much to my players. As always, I hope you are enjoying getting back into the iron skins of your mechas.
Yeah. I mean, mine's not very iron.
No,
It's more
but
flesh.
yeah. Ugh.
I mean, it's the iron content of the blood that matters.
Yeah.
True.
That's where the red in the fur comes from, all the iron.
Yeah. Yes. No, it's just they eat a lot of krill, like a flamingo. Thank you very much to my listeners. But wait, before we leave you, this episode's patron is the redoubtable Mama Strange. We have enticed Mama over from Dice Company with talk of Dungeon Majour. And just to reassure you, Mama, and indeed anyone else listening, yes, there has been a massive delay in Season 3 of Dungeon Majour, but I am on the case. It might not end up being Pride and Predators as originally promised and as originally hoped, but I am hoping to get something out in the way of Dungeon Majour before the end of 2025. The delay has been a combination of my bad leg and just everything else that we've been having to do to try and get Shadows of the Jedi Chapter 3 over the line and that campaign finished. We just had to prioritise those really than Dungeon Majour, even though Dungeon Majour is also a bunch of fun. But I am hoping to get something out, as I say, before the end of this year. I just can't promise exactly what. But you will find out by listening to Dungeon Majour, I suppose, and keeping subscribed to that podcast feed. Thank you very much, Mama Strange, and thank you, as always, to all of our patrons, and thank you to all of you for listening. Look after yourselves, my loves, and we will see you next time. Force Majeure is played using the Star Wars Force and Destiny game system by Edge Studios. Our intro music is by the amazing Sly Fox Audio. Check out more of her work at soundcloud.com/SlyFoxAudio. Our outro music is Suburban Outlaw instrumental version by Forget the Whale, used with gratitude under a Creative Commons license. Many of the sound effects and soundscapes are created using Sirenscape because epic games need epic sounds. If you're enjoying the show and want to support us, there's 3 ways you can do that. The first is by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/ForceMajeurePod, where for as little as $1 a month you get access to outtakes, adverts, various other stuff, and my fortnightly ramblings. You can drop us a coffee at ko-fi.com/forcemajeurepod, or you can leave us a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to interact with us, there's a few ways you can do that. We are on the social medias, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter as @forcemajeurepod, and we're over on Mastodon as @forcemajeurepod at dice.can. You can also join our Discord, link in the show notes. Thank you very much for listening and being with us as we tell these stories. We hope you are having fun, and we will see you next time.